Hey guys, and welcome to today's video. Today's video is going to be not really a quick but basically a tutorial on the look that I have on right now. It's basically a look that I created on Instagram, well, for Instagram, and I thought it would be nice to kind of recreate it and kind of film it for you guys to see how I actually created it. So this look was mainly created with the Anastasia Beverly Subculture palette. It's truly one of my favorite color schemes ever in a palette. And yeah, I just really wanted to kind of play with it one day. And then I created this look and I'm just in love with this. It's probably like my favorite look that I have done in a really long time. I also used a few other key products that I will show you throughout the video. This video will also be like a voiceover, so I won't be talking while I'm doing all of this jazz, but I will be telling you through a voiceover what I'm actually doing. And yeah, that concludes my intro. Let's get ready, you know, let's go. Okay, so I am starting by priming the eyelid and I'm using concealer for that. Today I will be using the Fuzz Base concealer from Makeup Revolution in the shade C3. And then I'm taking a sponge and I'm just blending that out. Important is to not set this. Then it's time for eyeshadow, and the first shade that I'm going to apply is Edge, and I'm just popping that into the crease and blending it out and really taking my time with this shade. I do want to apologize for being unfocused and out of frame in this part of the video. I'm currently working on it because it's also frustrating me to the max, and yeah, just bear with me, I guess, because it's gonna be a long ride. Next up, I'm taking the shade All Star and I am putting that underneath Edge, as you can see here. I'm really taking my time with the shade because I want to create kind of like the cut crease. And this shade is a shade that requires a lot of patience and a lot of blending. But if you blend long enough, and if you know, the moment that you're sick of it, that's the moment that it will be very blended. So yeah, All-Star is definitely one of the trickiest shades in this palette. Just make sure that you take your time and that you end up with something looking like this and you'll be good to go. The next step is to cut the crease, and of course I used my trusty Kevyn Aucoin Essential Skin Enhancer. It's actually like a foundation slash concealer, but I use it all the time to like cut the crease or like do halo eye. That's just the thing that I'm using. I usually take a long time to do my cut crease because I want to be very precise and all of that. I sped this part up by 300% and it's still 39 seconds. You can kind of imagine how long it was for me. This is kind of the look that you want to achieve, and then next I am using a small detailing brush from Nabla and I'm just refining the All-Star shade in my crease and kind of slightly blending. Then it is time to create the halo eye, and the first shade I'm using for that is the shade Axis, and I'm starting with the inner corner of the eye, as you can see, just slowly patting and slightly swiping it on. This is actually one of my favorite shades in the palette. And then I'm taking that same shade on the other outer corner and I'm kind of creating a circular shape because I want a special kind of cutout on the very outer corner of the eye. And I'm just slowly building that color up and bringing it slightly more to the center and really just building it up and blending. So I am taking the shade Roxy and I am placing that, as you can see, next to the shade Axis. I'm very careful to pat this next to Axis and to not blend it together, because if you blend this blue and this like orangey color together, the color wheel theory is gonna come in and just it's gonna ruin your look. So pat it next to each other, but make sure to not blend it. And then I'm just taking a little bit of the leftover concealer and putting that on the center of the lid. Next up, I'm taking the shade Q and I'm putting that onto the center of the lid. This is actually the first shimmer shade of this look. And it's also one of my favorites. The formula is just a little bit too hard pressed. Then I'm taking yet again my concealer brush and I am just kind of cleaning up some areas that got a little bit too messy or like not precise enough, and I'm just kind of cleaning that up. And once that eye is done, I'm moving on to the other eye. I actually forgot to show you something, and that is that I am taking one of the Stila Glitter and Glows. This is the shade Gold Goddess. I'm just putting that over Q for some extra dimension and like sparkle. So then I am starting with the face, and I'm actually trying out a new foundation. This is the Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define foundation in the shade C3. Upon first impressions, I have to say that it does indeed have a lot of coverage, as you can see, and the shade is not too bad for me. I feel like it's a little bit yellow. I don't know, I still am a little bit undecided on that. And the finish is quite matte indeed, but it's alright. It doesn't really emphasize any dry patches so far, so that's really great. But I do feel like I need a very good moisturizer with this particular foundation, or just any matte foundation in general. Next up, I'm also using a new concealer. This is the Foundation Fast Base Concealer, and I'm a little bit undecided on this. It's good, but it's nothing really mind-blowing. I have the shade F2, which also seems a little bit too dark compared to this foundation, so I'll have to keep trying it out. Next up, I'm taking the Hourglass Volume 4 palette, which is like one of their holiday collections, and I'm just taking the bronzer shade and kind of bronzing up the skin. I'm also using another Hourglass palette and Hourglass blush later on. But I kind of want to know, like, what are your thoughts on Hourglass? Have you ever tried them? Like, what do you think of their prices and stuff? Because I know they're very expensive. So this is the shade Brilliant Nude, and it's one of their ambient lighting blushes, and I absolutely love it, even though the color doesn't really come across well. And then I'm taking the Champagne Strobe Light, this is the metallic version from their Unlocked palette, and I'm just applying that to the high points of my cheeks. And then I'm of course taking some mascara. This is the Lancome Monsieur Bic mascara. No, what? This is the Grandiose mascara. I'm so sorry. So next up, I'm using a combination for the lips. The first one that I used is the Lime Crime Velveteen Lip Liner in the shade Angel, and I chose to line my lips with this, slightly overlining them, but not too much. And then I am taking the Ofra Cosmetics liquid lipstick in the shade Dubai, if I'm not mistaken, to kind of lighten things a little bit up, because it was a little bit too warm and dark for me, and I'm just mixing those together. And then I'm taking the ColourPop Ultra Glossy Lip in the shade Moonchild for that glossy finish, because I'm all about the gloss vibe, to be honest. And then to finish off the eye look, I'm using the Catrice Dewy Fixing Setting Spray and just setting my face with this. And this is kind of like a little bit of a close-up and just how it looks when it's finished. So yeah, definitely let me know like what you think of this look. I personally really like it, and yeah, I like it, man. So that, guys, concludes this makeup tutorial on this look right here with the Subculture palette. I hope you liked it. Let me know down in the comments if you really like this look, and what kind of looks you like to create with the Subculture palette. If you have this Subculture palette, like what do you think of it? Just comment whatever you want to comment, I guess. I'm really sorry about the changing lighting. I spent quite a lot of time on this look because you have to be a little bit more patient with this palette. So yeah, it's already getting dark right now, so just lighting sometimes isn't the best thing in Belgium. But anyway, that concludes this video and I hope to see you soon. Bye.